science background,
she
has a
does.
degree in biology.
Yes.
So now these are extra resources, and it's just a matter of teachers sharing.
Right.
Part of the problem, you know, in all honesty, and the only way you're gonna solve a problem, you got to get to the root of the problem. Part of the problem that we experienced in this building with some of our teachers are, well, they belong to me, so I'm not gonna let you take them. They belong to all of us. So we got to get into the habit of, okay, if this group is not getting it, then I got a resource right here who's willing to come and take this small group. Because with some of our children, small group does them justice.
Yes, it does.
You know, versus I've had children come to me today and say, do you have a smaller class to put me in?
Right.
So those resources started going to my head, that people we have coming on board that can pull these small groups. But in our classrooms, we have to be willing to work together with those outside of the classrooms. That's why they're called resources.
And so the thing is actually doing it. That's the bottom line. Actually doing it. And now I don't like, and I say it, I don't like coming up with all these beautiful ideas and then not getting any, you know, we're just spinning our wheels. We're ready. And like you said today, this is a good team. This is a team that I do believe in. I believe that we're gonna push the agenda. We're gonna make sure that something happens in that classroom. And I know it's gonna start right there with us. Cause that, you can't push an agenda if you're not pushing an agenda.
Right.
It has to start with you first. So, and the thing about it is an action plan. The PLC is an action plan, so it should have results during the process. Okay, we finished the PLC, now let's try it. No, during the process, we're implementing some of the ideas, see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll go come back, talk about it. Ms. V, you do some of the things, some of the ideas that you come up with, I'm not gonna quit altogether what I'm doing in the classroom, but I'm definitely going to scale back a little bit to teach these basics. Let us know how that works. Because I don't see anything wrong with that. Because I know you're not going to lose some trying to save others. I know you're not gonna do that.
You're not doing that for the whole day long.
Right.
It's just quick. You know, kids, they will be frustrated if they don't know how. They will be frustrated. So they don't know fraction. I go back, divide this paper. This is one whole. I rip it off, it become a half. I fold it again, just like that. Oh, Miss V, that's what it is. Very simple.
Very simple.
Just what I did.
And you didn't stop for a whole day. And some students are visual. They
Because
need to see
most
it.
of our students are visual. They are visual. They're looking at you, you're talking, you're just like talking to the tree. They don't understand. But put it together, they will. Let them touch that. But it's a lot of job. So I came here 6 o'clock in the morning because
I
of
think
that.
too, a lot of them probably just need a refresher. They probably remember once you started doing it, and it came back to them.
Right.
Because sometimes you forget
That's where
you forget
remediation
those things.
Yeah.
Right. So we definitely can use some of that to empower.
Definitely. And like I said, and like has been mentioned, we can definitely do it in the classroom. We can definitely do it in the classroom. I believe that you don't have to stop your class and teach another course, but you can definitely implement some of those things that they're lacking in. Make it fun, make it engaging, and then move on. Like you said, one of you said, the do now, something like that. Do a do now that relates to your class, but it's implementing some of the things that they're weak in, because we can't leave them behind.
Yeah, and I think pretty much everybody probably doing that. I mean, because we do have math and all that stuff engaged in our thing.
Well,
But,
I'm gonna say this. Bless me. I'm gonna say this. You said probably people are doing it. Well, from the results, probably a lot of them not doing it, because it should show.
I mean, I got math that's in my curriculum, and
So
I'm
we
gonna
may
do
be
that.
doing
I
it.
mean, so I'm doing some parts of math.
Right.
May not be the part that they need or missing, but I am doing some math.
And that's good, but somebody's not doing it, because scores will look different, I believe.
Yeah, but I think with our data tracking, our power, our EVOF data, with our new core stuff going, we just need to tweak it, and we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We just need to, I think, tweak what we got. I got the kinks and make it more effective.
Right.
Right.
Because you can buy a lot of new clothes and leave them hanging in
Yeah,
the
'cause
closet.
we
and
got
never put 'em on. We need
MTSS,
to
we
wear
got
'em.
school improvement, we got a lot of stuff going on. We talking the same thing in each group.
Right,
And we just combine it, get on one accord,
right.
and I think we'll be fine.
So, we're gonna do less talking and more action.
You took my words. I was just going to say, we've talked it long enough now.
Right.
You know, it's time to put some action to
That's
it.
right.
And it's time to add more rigor to it.
Right.
You know, because we're gonna get kids every year that's not where they should be. Pointing the fingers, this how they come to me, it's not gonna resolve the fact that that kid is still sitting in your classroom. You know, so, and like I said earlier, and I said to the staff all the time, we have a great staff here. In principals meetings, I know they probably get tired of me saying it, but I will not, because if I didn't believe it, I wouldn't say
Right.
it. We have a great staff here. We just got to, we know what we have to do. Now we just got to go ahead on and move forward. Talking is out now. It's time for some action.
Action. That's what we're about. Ms. Pierce, you wanna share what you add to the table, cause that literacy piece, definitely, we need you.
Okay, so, as we all learned yesterday, that literacy plays a major role in everything that we do here. And statistics show that students who read score better on standardized tests. And so I just, tried to find some research about things that we could do to better promote reading. One thing is sustained silent reading. Anybody can do it. You can do it in a math classroom. It can be like your warm up for the day. So maybe you have something about quadratic equations or something that they could read at the beginning of class, and maybe write a definition or something when they finish. But just having them read and also having them write to reinforce what they've read, to show that they've comprehended what they've read. We definitely have to create a culture for reading here, so we need to also model it as much as we can as adults. So in the library, I have a table of free books that anybody can pick up and take home and read. So I have quite a few students who come through and pick up the free books. Adults come through. There are some adults who don't use the library at all except to come to meetings. So if we could change that in some way, I mean, that is a space for collaboration, which is what we talked about. Reading is more than just looking at the words on the page, but when you talk about it, you really start to process. That's your critical thinking, which is on every single test. And so even if the teacher, or even if you just have your students talk to each other about what they're reading. So in the English classroom, if you are doing literature circles, then you can have those students in small groups take turns reading out loud. Make reading fun, so you don't have to read all the classics from when you were a student in high school. There are so many great books written in 2017, 16, 18, award-winning books that we have, that I have been able to purchase through the funds that have been allotted to me in the library, that people can come and get and have students read those. Give students choices in reading, so you do not have to read the same book to find out what theme is. You can all read something different and share what theme is. The antagonist will not be the same in every different book, but every book has an antagonist. Every book has a protagonist. Just give children more choices with what they're reading. Utilizing time in the classroom, like if a student is finished early, you can send them to the library to check out a book. In homeroom, they can come to the library to check out a book. Let's see. For reading, students need to build stamina. So you cannot expect a child who has not been reading to sit still and read a book for 30, 40, 50 minutes. This is why they cannot read those passages on the test, because they have not worked their way up. So it's like exercise. So start with 10 minutes. Yes, so start with something small. Start
teach them the skills in a short story, go to a longer short story, you know, and let them work their way up to sitting at that passage and analyzing the text and making notations as they read the text, and work their way up to sitting there for 30 minutes and trying to work through something. So, you know, reward them for something small first, let them build up their confidence. Because a child who's never read, or doesn't like reading, or doesn't know how to read, is not gonna sit and look at that passage and answer those multiple choice questions. You have to give them something to work towards, and you have to help them build their confidence, instead of them shutting down immediately when you give it to them, which is what most of them do. They just look at it, I'm not reading it, they mark the bubbles, they close the book.
That's what they did with social status test.
Right, that's what they,
That's why it did, because they don't have that.
right, cause they
Right,
haven't
lazy.
been practicing.
Right.
It's not that they're lazy,
Just don't get used.
it's not lazy, it's, they don't know what to do. They see a bunch of words on the page. So, for example, if I sat in, a chemistry class and you give me this page of stuff to read with all of these technical terms, I can read, I can comprehend, but I'm gonna struggle through it because it's unfamiliar to
Right,
me.
right.
So you have to meet them where they are. So we have graphic novels in the library. We have all of these books written in prose, so it reads like poetry. It flows. So we have books written by so many African American authors that you can sit, well, I can sit and read straight through in one day, because it's written for young adults who don't really care for reading. So it's written in a way that you can easily, the words are bigger, it's less words on the page. So, you know, if I'm reading 5-10 minutes, a book from, let's see, 1960, and the letters are this big, it's gonna take me 5 minutes maybe to get to 2 or 3 pages. But the books that I read for our kids today, if I'm reading for 5 minutes, I read 20 pages. I feel like I've accomplished something.
Right.
I feel like this book is readable for me. So, bring the kids to the library and let them see. Cause I have been ordering things for them. So I sent out a survey to see what they're interested in. I got some responses. Not everybody took the survey, but I order stuff based on what they asked for. They'll come into the library, they'll say, do you have, like somebody asked me the other day, Teen Wolf. I said, I didn't order Teen Wolf. He was like, what? I told you that last year. I said, did I write it down? But because I've already made my purchases, I'm gonna pay for it out of pocket. Cause if you're gonna read, I'm gonna buy it. Because that's what's important.
Okay, when I was in high school, we had this reading book that's about chemistry, girl. And there's a symbol right there.
Mhm.
When I met Fe iron, and then I saw Na sodium. I forgot what's the title of that book, but it was fun.
Right,
That's for
and that
chemistry.
made it fun.
Reading better.
Because they don't, that's chemical symbols
Right.
that we know.
So, what do you guys think about a library day? Like, you do power, but, the class, you know, every class can go to the library every day, but just have a schedule where certain classes go to the library, you give them the tour, they can get a book. But, it's not gonna take a long time. So, okay, this is library day, this is Wednesday, we go to the library, you know.
But I think we can do that on a Friday here.
So I have a calendar set up with appointment slots already. So,
So I guess you-
and the link has been sent out, so.
Don't wait for them. If it's
It has to
Mr.
be-
Green can it's the library day. The school does that. It's a library day. So Miss Easter, your day is on Wednesday. Even if it's, once a month, we're going to the library today.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a book, and then we're coming back.
Library day, girl, I'm gonna bring all my whole class. Okay,
Library
we're gonna go
day.
read.
Okay?
Today is reading day, let's say 20 minutes.
I know that it
Okay,
sounds
schedule.
elementary, but we trying to push reading
Right.
and make it fun.
So yeah, it could be required, because I think at middle school, and just middle school, but, every week, a day, something she see every class.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's their schedule.
Yeah.
So, like, the elementary has a fixed schedule, and middle school has a fixed schedule, and high schools have flexible schedules. So,
We're gonna make our fixed schedule too.
We
Can
could,
you
yeah.
think,
I'm gonna bring mine, because I want to do.
Small enough to do this.
say.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And all you have to do is sign up, and I haven't. I
You
love
can't
for
wait for
people to
them to
come
sign
in.
up, they not gonna do
Ms.
it.
Pierce, how about if you and I get together and fix this schedule,
Uh-huh.
and I'll send it out to the teachers when when you need to bring your class to the meeting center for about maybe 15 minutes.
That's
Okay.
it.
We
And
gotta
that's
go
gonna
read.
promote it.
Me, I'm gonna go read
I'm
too.
gonna get a book.
Right.
And I know
Say-
Miss Pierce always do like incentive, cause I'm motivated because she got 100%. I'm trying to get 100% beside my name for the forms, and I
Right.
like that. And I told the kids, look, I want 100%. Doc Lynch got 100. So, and I know you always give incentive. You always tell who came to which class came the
Which
most
homeroom checked out the
and stuff,
most.
book and stuff like that. So
I think it's an awesome.
that's a
idea.
good.
So maybe we
Good
should do
thing.
our homerooms.
I mean, it's totally, you and Mr. Green
Not
get together.
homeroom.
We'll get together, we'll fix
You
this.
get
Classes.
Yeah, classes, girl.
Cause you know what works. You know what works. I'm just getting here. You know what works. I want our students to be able to read. I mean, that's a very important, math, yes. But reading is a part of math.
It's a
Suppose
part
it's
of
a
life.
reading
It's life.
problem.
It's life.
Well,
We
they
can
don't know
also
what
make
when you
it a
read, you just
must.
struggle.
When they bring those classes through there, each student must check out a book.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Must. I would go so far as a teacher too. I would go so far as a
Your
teacher.
video
as to get a
minutes.
book.
So bye-bye.
And in my class, I'm just saying, is in my class, you're gonna tell me about that book. Before our time.
It was
comes
nice.
back
It was
around,
nice.
To bring it, Mr. Green, before my time come back around on the schedule, to take our books back, thank you, Ms. V. You're gonna tell me about that book.
Right, because the talking
Right.
about it is the most important part.
Right.
If
You-
they read it and they don't have anybody to share that excitement with, then it's like a best kept secret. And
Right.
so, but when they get to talk about it and somebody else gets excited about it, then you might want to read the book. You might tell your other friends to read the book. So that's how you get that culture
Right.
of reading.
And we're talking about peer pressure. If I got 20 kids in my classroom and 19 are telling me about that book and that one didn't read, the next time they're gonna read that book. Cause they're gonna be a part of that. That's pressure right there. So I think that's an awesome idea. I'm excited about that. I think that would really promote, reading. So we definitely covered everything, guys. We covered everything. Mr. Green, you wanna talk to us? Anything you wanna say to us?
When I walked in, I do apologize for being late. I was called to Central Services to sign some documents. But I think everything pretty much been covered. I do thank you for leading this PLC, and I thank the group for their participation, because the more we hear, the better we can become. And I like the ideas that were shared. So now it's a matter of just putting it all into play. And I like the idea that administration would get with the media specialist, and we'll fix a schedule for when
Yes.
classes will come in there and every student check out a book and then share that book.
That's an awesome idea. That's an awesome idea. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna email everyone and tell them when our next PLC is gonna be, and I'll send out what we'll be covering and the things, I mean, cause this has just been so successful to me. I think we're starting well. We're not gonna do a whole lot of talking, we're gonna do some walking. What they say, put your money where your mouth is. So we're gonna walk it out. We're gonna walk it out and make sure that, and we want our teachers on board, so we're gonna make this thing look good. We're gonna dress up, and we're gonna make it look good, so they'll wanna do it too, because it's gonna take that. It's gonna take doing something. I don't wanna talk about it, I wanna do it. I wanna have fun this year.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is my school, this is where I graduated. So, we're gonna do great things. I really believe that. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate
Thank
y'all
you.
coming out.
You're welcome.